Welcome comic book fans, and thanks for tuning in to Potbelly Gamers #PullThis for Wednesday, April 19th, 2017. I'm your host, Glenn Kremp, aka Leafs in 6, and this is my choices for the comics released this week. So we have two huge events happening this week. End of DC Rebirth, the Watchmen button appeared. So we have what's happening with that button now in the DC comics, and also on the Marvel side we have Secret Empire #0 finally coming up. So I'm going to start this week with Batman number 21 with the lenticle cover. Woo! Very exciting comic this week. Now, Batman number 21 does take us deep into the Batcave, where Batman is investigating the Watchmen button, or the button from the comedian that, if you remember, he did find at the end of DC Rebirth #1. Now, the great thing about this comic is it really did connect three major events in the DC universe. We get the Flashpoint, ending of Flashpoint, which then takes us to Rebirth #1, which now takes us to Batman number 21. Really good. So if you remember from the Flashpoint universe, Flash went to an alternate universe. We find that Thomas Wayne was now Batman. Thomas Wayne now makes his appearance back again in this comic book, which is really fun and great to see. And if we also remember from DC Rebirth #1, we have the Comedian's button. Going also back, Tom King, if you remember a few weeks ago, we also had Batman taking on Bane. And the reason Batman was taking on Bane is Bane had the Psycho Pirate. So Batman now has Psycho Pirate's mask in the Batcave. Once Batman flips the button, Psycho Pirate's mask, it activated something within the button. Really interesting stuff. I really enjoyed it. There's a couple things. Right now we are in the NHL hockey playoffs, so I did find it very interesting that this comic starts with a hockey playoff game between Gotham and Metropolis into OT. Kind of fun and exciting to read. Now, at the beginning of the comic is someone in Arkham Asylum knows that a player is about to die on the ice, and we see those events taking place throughout the comic. I really like the layout of this comic as well, as it does go with the 9-panel pages a la Watchmen comics. So you do have that style, and there is a couple nice big splash pages in it. A little interesting, I thought, the way Tom King did this is, again, just last comic we had Batman taking on Bane, which seemed like a pretty good fight. In this comic we have Batman now taking on, mess this name up, Ebobod Thane, Reverse Flash, that's easier to say. And that fight seems to go on forever. The way that fight is in this comic seems like a more brutal fight than Batman taking on Bane, which I thought was really interesting. Other than that, a great jumping on point for this 4-part crossover series. It is going to take place also in the Flash comics coming out in the future, which will be really exciting. We do end on a cliffhanger note. I really don't want to ruin that for everybody. I really would like people to pick this comic up and read it for themselves. And the big event we've been waiting for, so much has been happening in the Marvel Universe to come down to this event. Finally, we got Secret Empire #0 and the variant cover. It's been very exciting for Secret Empire. We do know now, or I'm sure a lot of you watching know, Steve Rogers, Captain America, has somehow had his memory changed, and he now believes that he is a part of Hydra. He's a Hydra sleeper agent. This comic starts off really good with him in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. Some of the big stuff going on in this, right from the beginning of Secret Empire 0, is we learn that the actual truth is that Hydra won World War II, and the Allies actually used the comic cube to change the events that they won World War II. That it was a huge revelation in this comic this week. Some of the other things that also are happening is just how Captain America, Steve Rogers, is setting up all these different things to finally reveal to the Marvel Universe that he has been a Hydra agent all along. We have the... no, hang on a second. Hang on. How do you call them? Centauri. Centauri. I'm back. The Centauri have been attacking Earth. And it's very easy that Captain America has actually sent all the major powered Marvel heroes out into space to take on the Centauri as they're approaching and attacking Earth. We also have Iron Man and Ironheart, Riri Williams. They're trying to figure out the shield that was used to protect Earth. Why is that not working? Again, lots going on in Secret Empire #0. A very exciting comic to see what's going on. So many implications, that the fact that one of the biggest heroes, Captain America, really is the Hydra agent. Now everybody's finding it out and just absolutely in disbelief of what's going on with Steve Rogers right now. Also, this week we have 2 complimentary books as well, which are kind of the lead up to Secret Empire number 0. And that's just kind of giving us a little bit more of the backstory. Steve Rogers Captain America number 16 really goes back to 1945, him discovering a lot of stuff that's going on. He actually discovers that his mom never died, she is still alive. So again, and the big thing we learned from this is, even though the Cosmic Cube, Red Skull and the Cosmic Cube, tried to change the way Steve Rogers feels, he knows that, and we discover he's accepting that this has changed and is taking it on himself and is fully going to be the leader of Hydra, which is amazing. USA Avengers again does the same thing. It really just sets up what's about to happen in Secret Empire number 0. So 2 good complimentary comics to go with Secret Empire number 0 this week. With these 2 big events this week in the comic world, if that's not your forte, here's a couple of quick hits you might also want to check out. Marvel's Nick Fury number 1. It is his solo adventure as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He heads to the French Riviera on his first solo action adventure. Invincible Iron Man number 6. So Riri Williams, as we now know as Lionheart, Pepper Potts takes her to Tony Stark's armory where she looks at all the Iron Man's armor. It's a pretty good thing, and she chooses which one she's about to wear. From DC, Trinity number 8. And this is again a continuation or a little bit of a complementary story to the Superman Reborn storyline. Also, Superwoman number 9, again, also continuing with the Superman Reborn storyline, and this is what happens when Superwoman actually starts to know what is happening to the future of Superman. And lastly this week, Nightwing number 19, where a Batman villain, Dr. Hurt, makes his return and decides to make life tough for Dick Grayson, Nightwing. And that's my pull list for this week. As always, please tune in to the Potbelly Gamers podcast on the allgames.com radio network. We're live every Friday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week, our good friend Yasser has purchased the Disney collection, and we're going to rewind and talk about that. Also, we'd like to give a big thank you to Washikong for all their support. Please visit washikong.com for all apparel and your toy needs. And as always, please get out to support your local comic book shop. Without them, we wouldn't have these great titles every single week. And also remember, Free Comic Book Day is coming up the first Saturday in May, so watch for that. See you next week.